In the beginning of the film, we see a cameraman. He was making pictures of two models in the studio. When the girl's work is done, one of the models goes to her house, and when the other girl leaves, the cameraman kidnaps her. He also makes the girl unconscious. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself tied up. The girl was very scared, and she was repeatedly telling the cameraman to please leave her, but he doesn't listen to a word the girl says. Then he takes out a box which had someone's ashes. He puts it next to the girl and cuts her throat, and when he was doing that, his blood drips into the ashes. In the morning, when the cameraman's secretary comes, she sees the girl's corpse. The cameraman had killed her, but as soon as she turns around, she sees her boss's corpse. That's when she calls the police. After investigating, it is found that the cameraman has definitely killed the girl. But this was just a secret. Who killed the cameraman? When she looks at the cameraman's throat, there was someone's cut mark on it. Looking at her corpse, it seemed as if someone had eaten her flesh. After this, in the story, we see two news reporters looking at the girls, who were very capable, but no one believed them. When they both go to their office, their boss tells them to find out about this case. How did the cameraman die? Who killed him so mercilessly? Now, they meet a lab girl. She feeds him at the hotel and asks about this case. The girl tells the two reporters that the cameraman killed the girl. We got some candles from his house. Looking at them, it seemed as if there was some ritual or magic there. And there was someone's teeth mark on the cameraman's neck, as if someone had eaten his throat. When they both hear this, they get very worried and start thinking, who could be such a cruel person? Who is eating humans in such a scary way? After this, we see a girl named Sandra. She was doing yoga and going towards her car. As soon as she starts sitting in her car, some people were going to steal her car and take her away. But when they were running away after stealing her car, there was someone in Sandra's car who beats her up very badly and then kills her. Sandra was very scared when she saw this. Then she sees that there was someone behind her car. But when people gather there, the man who was standing behind her car goes away from there. Sandra was now thinking, who could be such a powerful person? Who killed so many people alone? The next morning, the two reporters go to a press conference, where they ask the police who is killing them. The police says, don't worry, we will find the killer very soon. The reporter asks the officer, is this murder committed by the same person? To which the officer replies, the first murder that took place near the car was committed by the same person. She asks, why was there such a mark on the cameraman's neck as if someone had killed him? Hearing this question, everyone is surprised, because no one knew about this. Hearing this, the mayor who came there, she gets very angry, and the reporter tells the girl that you will not come to this conference again. A good reporter will come in your place who will ask us good questions. And she also tells this to her boss, to which her boss scolds her a lot. The boss also did not believe her. She asks, who gives you this information? She says, our special people who are involved in the police. When both were at home, she thinks, why don't we post something on our account about all these murders? Who knows, we may find out something. Then she gets a call from a girl working in the lab. She tells her, the people whom we have tested for DNA, he is the only man who is killing everyone. But the model girl who died, that was done by the cameraman. Now they both go to the cameraman's office to find out all this, where the first murder took place. When they go there, they find a box there. It was the same, which we saw in the hands of the cameraman at the beginning of the story. But now there was no ash in that box. After investigating, they also get the magical item. After seeing this, they come to know that someone must have done some magic here. After seeing both these things, they think that the cameraman must be a member of a cult or a group, who has done magic here and brought someone alive. And he is the same person, who has come alive and is killing everyone one by one. Now when both of them came to know, but they both think that without any evidence, no one will believe them. That's why they both decide that they will collect the evidence first. On the other hand, Sandra, who was in the hospital after that incident, her brother also comes there. Sandra's brother asks the police officer, is there any danger here? The officer says, don't worry, your sister is safe here. Then when he meets his sister, Sandra tells him, that night I saw a man who was very dangerous, and I feel that he will not leave me also. He will kill me also. Sandra was saying this. Then that man comes there who had come to kill Sandra. There Sandra's brother gives her a cross locket. He says, wear it. Have faith in God. Nothing will happen to you. But he had now come inside, who was killing a guard. Seeing this, a police officer fires a bullet at him, and hearing the sound of the bullet, more police officers came there. But that man had killed that officer and started drinking his blood. After that, he goes to Sandra. To kill him, when he sees the cross locket in his lane, he gets scared and starts running. The officer also came there, who saves Sandra and sends her home. And here we come to know that man was not an ordinary man. He was a Dracula who only came out at night. And how did he come here? How did he come? We will come to know in the story. After this, we see a girl who was going home from her work. When she sits in the car, the Dracula comes from behind and grabs her neck. He kills her and starts drinking her blood. The next morning, both the reporters are called by their boss. I have started a new show today in which people will give us their opinion. Who is the killer? And they start getting a lot of messages on this case, in which people told them their own thoughts. Why did this happen? And what was the secret behind it? The two reporter girls choose the names of some people and try to talk to them too. On the other hand, Sandra's brother also brought her home. He tells her that there are cameras here. You don't worry. Your life will not be in danger. Then Sandra watches the reporter's video, in which she was saying that if anyone knows anything about this case, then please tell us. Sandra tells her brother that I also want to talk to them. There, a lady talks to both the reporter girls in the office. She says that I read your news, in which you mentioned a cameraman. I spoke to that man a year ago, because I had written a book on Dracula at that time. In that book, there was a mention of a man who was very dangerous. He wanted to bring that man alive, and he wanted to help me in all these matters. But I didn't tell him about this, because if I had done this, if I had helped him, then a dangerous Dracula would have come to our world. At that time, another girl is included in their video, who says, yes, I also know about that man, who becomes Dracula and kills people. A few years ago, I also faced it. He killed my friend in front of my eyes, but I killed him and brought his dead body in the sun, due to which he became a raft, and I closed his raft in a box. But a few days later, that box was stolen. After hearing all this story, both understood that this is Dracula, who is now killing people again, and has come back. When both of them were going home, then they get a call from Sandra, who tells them everything, what she had seen with her own eyes. After listening to Sandra, both were convinced that this is Dracula. Where Sandra had stopped, Dracula had come there. He was coming there and killing Sandra's friends. Through video call, Sandra has shown both the reporter girls that what was happening there. When both of them see that Dracula is killing some people, then they also get very scared. Then Sandra's brother comes, who had come to take her from there. But that Dracula also comes there and kills Sandra's brother. And then Sandra, he also saw them on video call. When they see his face, both of them get very scared. She goes and tells everything to the police officer. Then he says, what have you made this story to be famous? If this is the case, then please don't do this. Your story is very useless. She had known that without proof, no one will believe her. She thinks that at the time of the day, where would that Dracula be? She also makes weapons for him so that he can face him. One day he gets a call from a man who wanted to help them. He now calls both of them to his office. She asks, why did he call them here? That man says that we are a dealer company. We make and sell houses. He says that one day a man came to me who told me that I want a house that is completely deserted and in a very deserted place. No one should come and go there. I had given him that house. Hearing this, she says, why are you telling us all this? That man says maybe the Dracula you are looking for is there. He also gives the keys to both of them. Both of them now decide to go there. When they both go there, that building was really deserted. They start collecting evidence there. But they didn't find any evidence there, that's why they were going back. But then they see a newspaper. It was from 2 weeks ago. Seeing it, they think that if no one lives here, then how did this newspaper come here? Then they see a boy's dead body. There was that Dracula too, who grabs his leg and attacks them. When they both try to run away from here, Dracula catches them and beats them a lot. He also tries to drink their blood. But they don't give up. They attack him. Dracula beats a reporter a lot and makes him unconscious. And the other reporter was running towards him to drink his blood. But she ran and came in the sunlight. After that, Dracula goes back to him who was unconscious. But now that girl was also conscious. And she picks up a stick and beats Dracula, which made him unconscious. These two pulled him and brought him in the sunlight, which made him turn into ash again. After that, we see the story a few days later. Both the reporters were very hurt. No one believed them. That they killed a Dracula. That's why they both decide now that they will leave the press. And they get married and start living far away. At the end of the story, we see a little girl who was giving Dracula's ashes to a woman. We see that her nails were very big, as if she was also Dracula, as if the cameraman had put the girl's blood in the ashes and made her alive. But as soon as Dracula left, he killed her too. Then both the reporters killed Dracula with their bravery. But as long as Dracula's ashes will be in this world, then some or the other person will put the girl's blood in it and make her alive for his benefit. And this Dracula will again come to destroy the world. And this is where his personal story and this movie ends. Thanks for watching and your time.